Welcome to Cape Epic Stage 1. I feel like it's finally started now. The prologue happened, sure, but this is really when it really starts. So I'm going to give you just some quick context on this stage, and then after that, we'll get straight to the teams, so then you can hear more about it. So 61 miles or 98 kilometers for today, 5,900 feet of climbing or 1,800 meters of climbing, and this one had 97 feet climb per mile. Which is technically the flattest stage that we have, but it certainly was not flat. Lots of climbing. That comes out to about 18 meters per kilometer. The stage was bookended by a lot of kind of like the strange circuitous routes through some vineyards. And I think that's why it drug down that average in terms of the amount of climbing. But just the same, let's hear from the teams and hear how everything went on stage 1.
Whew. Okay, recap of stage 1. Sadly, I am by myself, and we'll get to that in a moment, but let me start with the race. I told the guys that today the race is going to start fast, and I don't think they quite believed me, but I was like, no, trust me. We have like over, 15 minutes between the pro women and our first group, and then 5 minutes behind everybody else. Like, we want to go fast. So I was like, be prepared for a really fast start. And then right before we started, the announcers warned us that there was a big water crossing on course. And 2K into the start, we get to this raging river. And I was like, are you serious? Like, it is. We just went through it. I think it was knee deep. So it was a very rough way to start the stage. But we were able to kind of be in the pack split. We were in the second, or the split into 3. We were in the second part. We caught up to the first part of the group. And we could see the co-ed leaders up ahead. And Nate and I were having a really good pace. And then we got into the really long climb, and we got passed by one of the co-ed groups. And, we just kind of let Nate do his pace, and I just kind of followed behind. It was really interesting to see just how different we tackle climbs, where he would actually put time into me on any of the flatter parts or where we were traversing on a switchbacks. And then as soon as it kicked up, I was able to just kind of stand up and catch on to him. We made it to the top, started descending. One of the groups behind us, I think they're from Switzerland and Germany. I think it's a co-ed group. They kind of caught us, passed us. So we're like, okay, we're in 4th. Like, this is totally good. Let's just, get through this part and then really start to roll in the second half of the stage where it was going to be flat. And, we passed, we come around a turn and we see the people that just passed us got a flat tire. So we were like, okay, we're in 3rd. We just need to, keep things safe. And then, I think about 2 minutes later, we come up on a turn, and it's a left-hand turn, and Nate lost his front wheel, tipped over and crashed to the side. And I think he was cramping a little bit. And, he definitely said he wasn't feeling that good after. So we make it to the next aid station, fill up our bottles. He chugs a bunch of water, and then we kind of keep going at a pretty easy pace. And then all of a sudden we just said, it's time to just let's take a second, regroup. And then Nate thought, he was concussed. So we just took it really easy for a long time. We just didn't really know where the course was going and what the best way was doing. He didn't quite want me to hit SOS yet. So, we're just going as it was. And then all of a sudden there's a paramedic walking up because there was a guy that had broken his collarbone. So he actually checked out Nate, ran a few tests, asked him a bunch of questions, and diagnosed a concussion. So we walked down the trail, and there was an ambulance there. So Nate they did a few more tests on him, and then he was being able to be taken care of. And at that point, I had the choice of, do I go with Nate or do I continue solo? Because I think you have the option of, you can continue the stage, or you stop the stage, and then you can start the next day, but then you don't have a time. So after Nate was taken care of, I was like, well, I'm going to go by myself and see what I can do in terms of time. And I think, I was still fairly strong by myself when I compare the lap splits. But yeah, going into the next 6 days of racing, I am by myself. I don't know if it means that I will be starting at the back of the pack, or if they're going to let me start a little bit further up just because my speed is closer to that A group. But I'm still, excited to take on the race and see what it's all about, get some experience, and make the team proud. And I really enjoy the opportunity that we have. And I think it's going to be really hard to do it by myself. I think always having that partner there kind of keeps you in check, gives you someone to communicate with and check in with, and kind of keeps you in balance. So I think going at it by myself is going to be really hard, but I am just looking to, keep going, stay safe, be smart, and hopefully make it to Sunday. So I'll let you guys know how stage 2 goes. Tomorrow is the Queen stage. We'll see.
How's it, guys? Just a check-in from stage 1, second day. Today was 98 kilometers.
Yeah, 98 Ks.
98 Ks. Took us about 4.5 hours. Yeah, I'd say today was, for me, definitely a tough one. I've been struggling a little bit with my stomach, so I've been battling to kind of keep in what I eat. So it's kind of racing on an empty tank. It's not a good idea in principle, but we managed to just hit survival mode and did what we could to limit losses and just make it to the finish and try and get better.
It was, again, stage 1 of 7 stages. So I don't know why it feels like we've already done a few stages. Maybe that's just the body after today. But yeah, like I said, I mean, for me, for sure, it was frustrating when your partner's not there. But as a team, you've got to keep going and you've got to help each other. Otherwise, I mean, my bad days are coming. Well, I hope not. I hope we're both rolling fast tomorrow and ready to go. Tomorrow's stage is looking, I think it's harder than today's stage. You're just pretty much climbing the whole day. But yeah, takeaways from today was a bit more teamwork and you sort of have to nurse each other when the going gets tough, and beautiful, like unreal views if you got to look at them, and some pretty epic trails. More rocks than I've seen in a while. Yeah, tomorrow I think it's the same, plenty of rocks, but it keeps so exciting racing and riding.
Yeah, no, I think the valley we're in at the moment around Tolbach, Ceres, is quite unforgiving, like Robert said, a lot of rocks. So I think, you can easily lose more time than we did today with having a bad day. And I'm hoping we can sort it out within the next day or two and then do what we came here to do and actually race. Today was frustrating for me as well, and also frustrating knowing both of us want the same thing. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much. It's part of the game. Everyone's going to have their ups and downs. So, yeah, it can only go better. So
it's one stage of 7. So
still a lot that can happen, exactly.
It can go either way, but mentally we're preparing for the better way.
Exactly.
Oh, and yeah, luckily, currently where we're staying, a nice takeaway is that even though tomorrow's one of the hardest stages so far of the race, we pretty much end on our doorstep. So instead of transferring back to the race village, we're across the line and we can go straight into a hot shower. So it's one thing that if tomorrow gets tough like today was, then that's something in the back of the mind just to push us across the line.
Well, we're looking forward to some good days later this week, maybe even tomorrow. See how things go. But went to the doctor this afternoon and got some new medication, and I'm already feeling better. So just kind of fueling up for tomorrow now, making sure I'm hydrated. Cheers.
All right, Brandon, do you want to tell everybody how that race started? That 5-hour race started?
5-hour race started much like a 60-minute crit. Everyone was immediately fighting for position. And it was kind of madness, to be completely honest, how fast we went. It was cool though. We got to start with Sophia and Nate. So we got to ride with them for the better part of probably 20 or 30 kilometers or something like that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. It was too hard for me. It's weird. It didn't feel too hard. But it was too hard to start out a 4 and almost 5-hour day. So
it's kind of like one of those ones that you're like, yeah, I know this is bad, but I mean, I'm still driving forward. Yes. Don't know why.
Yeah. I'm kind of worried it's going to be that way every day.
Most likely. Mm-hmm.
We
need to start at the front.
Yeah, that's for sure. A learning that we have. But we have to learn from our mistakes. If it's too hard, we kind of have to let them go. Because I think the main concern is if you get stuck behind a slow rider on a descent, is that you lose time, or slow riders on a climb, you lose time. But that's, like a handful of minutes maybe that you might lose. Yeah. And really, if you blow up, you lose a lot of time.
Absolutely.
So, but it was a really fun stage. And I had a blast. I feel like my nutrition was on point. You already know a lot about the stage from Sophia and also from Robin Rousseau. So I'm not sure we need to go into too much detail on the stage. Brandon, you're descending. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like the improvement rate is so fast. So
slightly less like Bambi on ice cream. So.
Decidedly less. I would say there's no point in referencing that. So Brandon could win, I think, an XC national championship, particularly with the fitness he has. So, yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure. On to stage 2 now. That's tomorrow. And kind of more of the same, I think, but it's supposed to be really rocky tomorrow. So I think I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how we feel. I don't feel really blown out right now.
No, feel pretty good. Rocky stages make me a little nervous, but I'll just pretend you didn't say it's going to be really rocky.
There we go. And we'll just let it happen. All right. Thanks, everybody.